So welcome everyone. We're going to be starting practice in just a moment or two, but tonight I'm going to invite you into kind of the relaxing, cooling, restorative practice. So if you can, it would be good for you to gather a bolster or something that looks like a bolster, something you can use in place of that in your home. 2 blocks, or again, something to replace 2 blocks, a towel, just a regular bath towel, and a blanket. Oh, I'm sitting on my blanket. So you might want to take a moment just to gather those props. You can do the practice without, but the props are there to support your body, and it can be a very important piece. So we'll begin in just a few moments. Well, namaste. Welcome everyone. I'm Crystal. I'll be leading you through an RX practice during this session. I mentioned a few moments ago, but just in case you weren't here yet, I highly recommend having some props for this practice. A bolster or substitute that resembles a bolster, a couple of blocks, a blanket, a bath towel. And if you have cucumbers in your house, you're just watching this recording, a couple of sliced cucumbers would be really nice for this cooling practice as well. But no need to have that, just it's kind of an added bonus. So it's mid-August, August 13th, and we're in the time of year which Ayurveda calls Pitta season. Some of you may know what that means, maybe not. So it is a combination of elements of fire and water. And fire comes to us in this season in the form of heat, water, perspiration, sweating, and water for cooling. So about this time of year, we often begin to feel, many of us begin to feel a little lethargic. We're getting tired, kind of get tired of the heat, even if we like the heat. And what can actually happen in our bodies is our tissues can hold in heat. And it's excess heat that's not helpful heat. It doesn't help any of our metabolic processes. It's just kind of there as a hindrance. And so today the practice will focus on kind of addressing that, inviting some of that heat to leave that might be embedded into the tissues, and inviting in some cooling practices. And on top of it being Pitta season, deep into it, we're also deep into a pandemic, and our lives have drastically changed for many of us, or at least the way sort of normal operates. And we might be holding in negative things from that, even if we might not feel it every day or acknowledge it. It can be taking a toll on us. So some of the practices we do will be inviting a release of things that just aren't needed or aren't helpful in the body, and inviting in some coolness. So to begin, hopefully you're on the floor with me right now. We're going to do a few things, and then after that, you're welcome to find a chair or a nice other sturdy, comfortable seat, but I'll guide you to that. So to begin this whole process of releasing, we're going to come into what's called Lion's Mudra using the lion's breath. So I will invite you to come onto your haunches, we'll call them, since we're going to become lions. So maybe sitting back on your heels. You can have a blanket under you. We won't be staying here for a long time, just coming into this pose. Then we're going to make lion paws. So we're going to fold our thumbs in, and we have our knuckles. And then we come into a lion stance. What does a lion do when it's fighting or fierce? It makes itself really big, like many animals and birds do. So that's what we're going to do before we release. So I'm going to call in something that you'd like to release in your body. Maybe it's something as simple as let some of that excess heat go. Maybe there's an emotion or something you've been holding on to that you know isn't healthy, and now you're going to invite it to leave. Or maybe there's some uncomfortableness or pain in your body you'd like to invite to leave. Whatever it is, think of one thing, bring it into your awareness, let it just sort of marinate around within you for a moment. And where we're going with this, we're going to inhale, lift up, make ourselves really big, and then we're going to stick out our tongue, cross our eyes up so they're almost cross-eyed, and then growl, just let out a big roar to help release. We ready? So think of that issue you'd like to get rid of. Inhale, make yourself big, make yourself big. Sit back on your haunches. Let your palms rest. Let your shoulders rest. Close your eyes. That might have felt a little silly. Maybe it felt good. We're going to do it again. Open your eyes. Make your lion pause. You can use the same issue if you feel like you want to really, invite it to leave. You can call in something new if you need to. Let's inhale, bring in that issue, make yourself big, come up, let it go. Come back down, sit back, let your palms rest, close your eyes. Notice what you're feeling around your heart and your throat. It can be a big release. It can create some movement of energy. It's what we want to do, right? We're moving out sort of negative energy or something that doesn't serve us. We're going to do it one more time. So I want you to have the biggest growl, the biggest release ever. And I'm really sorry I'm not right there with you so I can hear this and we can all be hearing it, but we'll just imagine we'll be releasing together. Come back to your lion pause. Think of your issue. Inhale, come up. Beautiful. Sit back on your haunches. Let your palms rest. Close your eyes. Take your tongue over the gums between the inside of the lips and take 3 big circles. And then rest your tongue. And just notice how it feels when you can find a way to release. It's not always appropriate to do every situation you're out in public, but it's a tool, and you can see how you feel right now and practice it and see how it fits into your life. So now I'm going to invite you into a comfortable and supported seat. If you'd like to sit in a chair or some other place that gives you some good support, I will encourage you to do that. If you're sitting on the floor, then please lift your hips a little higher than your knees, but sit how you're comfortable. We're going to invite a cooling breath in now that we've done this release. We want to invite in some coolness. And this is a practice called Shitali breath. You can do it, obviously not out in public or when you're wearing your mask, but if you're around your home, if you're gardening and you feel really sort of overloaded with heat, biking, out for a walk by yourself, wherever, in your home even. This is a practice that often brings instant coolness because we're bringing in that life force, we're bringing in breath right into our tissues immediately. So if you're a tongue roller, you're going to stick out your tongue and roll it. If you're not a tongue roller, we don't all have that gene, then you're going to purse your lips like you're sipping through a straw. So whichever of those poses works for you, go ahead and take that. And then you're going to breathe in and out through the tongue or in and out through the mouth. Let's give it a try. Keep going. Notice how it feels cool when that life force is coming in right over the tongue, right into through the tissues of the mouth. Sometimes they feel warm. And this is just kind of an immediate way to cool down. Take a couple more of those breaths if it feels good to you. And when you're finished, be finished. Take another 3 circles of your tongue around the inside of your mouth. And we do that to promote saliva, to kind of balance out some of the fluids in our body. I have my phone here. I might be looking at it occasionally just to keep track of the time. So as you invite yourself into a comfortable and supported seat, I'd like you to come into Hansi Mudra. It'll be a 2-handed mudra, and we're going to take all of our fingers except the index and let the tips touch the tip of the thumb. So the index finger is out, all the other fingertips touch the tip of the thumb. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and rest your palms up. Hansi Mudra is for peace and resolution and prosperity. It also is good for the lungs. It helps to get in to invite sadness, grief, and depression to leave. So it's a very powerful mudra. So just get comfortable with it. And get comfortable in your body. Wiggle around until you find that place where you can be for a while. And then when you're ready, you can close down your eyes. You don't need to see me for this part, just listen. Center your ears over your shoulders over your hips. Tuck the chin just like a micro amount as you lift the top of your head, kind of lengthening the spine. Pull your skull back like half an inch and relax. No need to worry about any of those cues now. Just be where you are, be as you are. Maybe move your jaws around, inviting some stress, tension. Often can build up in the jaws. We don't even know. That tension can move into the shoulders and the neck. So maybe move the jaws and then just let the jaws relax. Keep a little space between the upper and lower levels. If your eyes are closed or find a gazeless gaze, invite yourself into the practice. You might have already invited yourself in with that lion's roar. Maybe that was out of your comfort zone. Good for you. You've already passed it. Let your body soften. Just begin to pay attention to your breath. Find a connection and awareness with your breath. Just noticing how this beautiful process of bringing in life force, and then the body filtering and deciding what's not needed, sending that away. Just tuning into how this process is working for you right now. Soften anywhere else in the body that you can soften. Let go. You're held. Your body will hold you. Gravity will hold you. Invite your mind to rest on the breath. We know the mind likes to be really busy, and not with appropriate busyness for us. So we invite the mind to have a focus, especially a focus of the breath. The mind can begin to become a little less busy. The mind will follow the pattern of the breath. So notice your state of mind. No need to analyze, just notice. And see if you can find qualities in your breath, qualities of consistency. Qualities of the breath being even, inhales and exhales, somewhat equal, even in length. The breath should be slow or invited to be slow and also quiet. Just let your body breathe. Just tune into these qualities. If you're way far away from those qualities, then maybe breathe a little deeper, a little longer, a little slower, without any worries, just be. From here, if you would like to bring an intention in for your practice, I'll invite you to do that now. Maybe it's the healing intention for yourself or for someone else that you care about. Bring it in. Say it to yourself like you mean it. Let's take a long, deep breath in through the nose. Let it go out the mouth in a sigh. Another roar if you need it. Blink your eyes several times. Get some moisture into the eyes. And then let the eyes stay open when you feel comfortable. Release your Hansi Mudra, moving the joints of the fingers. And then just let your fingertips rest down outside of your hips. Inhale the arms up and out from the shoulders. And as you exhale, think of scooping in this positive energy into your heart center. Inhale, lift the arms and keep the shoulders down. Turn your palms out like you're surrounding yourself with good, healthy, positive energy. And again, inhale up and out from the shoulders. Exhale, scoop that in, bring it into your heart center. Navel is in, shoulders stay down as you inhale, lift the arms, turn the palms out, and slowly just let the arms come down, surrounding yourself. One more time, breathe in nice and deep through the nose. Exhale as you scoop prayer into your heart. Inhale to lift. Exhale, turn the palms out and slowly let those hands let her down. Now we are in a time of COVID, and it's a time where we don't typically think of touching our face. We're very mindful, but you are practicing in your home. I'm assuming that you are nice and clean and safe. But if any of these practices where you don't feel comfortable touching your face, then just listen and maybe do them at a different time. So we're just going to invite some release into other parts of the body. And we're going to start with taking 3 of our middle fingers on both hands, right on the sides by the temples. And we're just going to press and then gently move up and down. So removing the fascia here, inviting any thick viscosity or tension that might have built up in that fascia all around the skull and the temples to release. And that's probably enough. Take your fingers like you're shampooing your hair and really get into the fingertips, massaging into the whole scalp, inviting prana to move through, maybe even a little tapping. And now take your thumbs and go to the very base of your occipital bone, that big skull bone. Go way down to the bottom, and you'll find 2 little index kind of right at the base of the neck. And press in with your thumbs. It might be tender, one or both sides. These are connector points or energy points. These are points where if we press in like we're doing now, might help to relieve a headache, might help to relieve some tension and stress. So continue to press in and maybe find some circles with the thumbs. You take it both ways, continue to press nice and deep. Keep your jaws relaxed as you're doing this. And then maybe just hold for a few more moments. And hopefully you don't get tension headaches or migraines, but the next time you feel one coming on, give this a try, see what happens. It also helps to release tension up in the back of the skull and the neck. Good, let's let that go. And now we're going to take the middle finger and the thumb. We're going to start at the top of each ear and we're going to just squeeze. Just give a nice squeezing as we go all the way down the whole ear. And then at the very bottom, we just give a little tug on the earlobes. We're going to do this 3 times. So go back up. We're squeezing into some energy points. Give a little tug. And again. All the way up, around the whole ear. And give 3 tugs this time. Good. Take 3 middle fingers of either hand and bring it kind of up and over the shoulder. So we're on some fleshy part here. We're going to do something called sponging. So you squeeze your fingers like you're squeezing a sponge. You're going to do this 5 to 8 times. So just finding, maybe even grabbing some of the skin, like you're really squeezing. Again, working to loosen up some of the viscosity, maybe some of the thickness or tightness of the fascia in this area of the body. It helps fluids to move, it helps to release tension, it helps to release some heat. Now take that same movement going up a little deeper toward the neck, but making sure you're going kind of over to the back. And again, sponge. Squeeze it in. Keep your jaws released. It's really important that we don't begin to stress up in other areas of the body. You might be finding some spots that feel tight or sore. Good to acknowledge, but don't dwell there. Maybe invite that to leave. Invite them to loosen up, to feel better. Good. Let's go to the other side. So 3 middle fingers, right up and over the shoulder, right into some fleshy parts. Sponge it in, squeeze. Really squeeze and invite stress, tension, tightness in the fascia to release. Good. And then take it up a little bit closer into that crease of the neck. Sponge here 5 to 8 times. It's all we need. It can be very effective. Keep the jaws relaxed. Good. Let's come on down and find the inside of one of your elbows. Take the opposite thumb. And we're going to find, we're kind of right in the center on the fleshy part. There's a marma point here. It's an energy point. We're going to bring the arm at a right angle. And as we press into that marma point, we're going to take some big circles. So this marma point connects to the shoulder. And this movement also connects to the low back. So let your awareness travel there and notice what you feel. Take the circle the other way. Again, we only need about 5 to 8. Pressing into that marma point. I have had students tell me that they find immediate release here. Isn't that cool? Let's release, and we'll go to the other side. So right to the center, finding that marma point in the middle of the elbow, pressing in. As we bring that arm at kind of a right angle, pull the navel in slightly, and start making those big circles. Again, let your awareness go to the shoulder, the low to mid back, and take it the other direction. Always tuning in. What do you feel when you're doing something? Good, and that's all we need. Let's inhale the shoulders up to the ears, find that tension. Exhale, drop them down, release. Inhale to lift and release. Again. Lift and release. Good. So there's Some of you might have been noticing during this heat of Pitta season that maybe your eyes feel almost like they're on fire or they're burning. Many of us are probably spending more time looking at a screen, whether it be our phone, our computer. So our eyes can get really tired. And we're going to do a couple of practices now to just bring in some more health for the eyes, work the muscles of the eyes, and also invite some moisture to move and see if we can take out some of that heat. So begin by just looking straight ahead. You're just looking straight ahead, your body is nice and centered. And now take your eyes to the right as far as they go without moving your head. Slowly, mindfully, bring the eyes all the way over to the left. And continue this pattern. Take it very slowly. If we do this too fast, it can create some imbalance and dizziness. A few more times. And when you're doing this, notice what you feel. Can you feel those muscles that are connecting the eyeballs, that are around the eyeballs? Can you feel them moving? They might feel sore. Come back to the center, look straight ahead, close your eyes. When we do these eye practices, notice if you can feel your actual eyeballs moving. Sometimes you can feel the whole form of the eyeballs moving. Open the eyes. This time we're going to take the gaze to the far left and down, and then look diagonally up to the top right. From the top right, look down to the left. And mindfully do a couple more, looking up, diagonally down. Up, diagonally down. Back to the center. Bring the eyelids down, give a little shade over your eyes, rest for just a moment. Open the eyes, and this time we're going to start looking to the upper left, and then take the eyes diagonally down to the far right. All the way up to the upper left, down to the far right. One more time, up, take it down, bring the eyes back to center, and close the eyes. Just notice what sensations came up. Good, open your eyes. We have one more practice for the eyes. Go ahead and extend one of your arms with your thumb kind of right out from your nose. And I'd like you to look at your thumbnail with both of your eyes. Slowly just begin to bring that hand in. And bring your thumb all the way in. Maybe it touches the tip of your nose and you're still looking at it. Keep looking at it as you slowly and mindfully take the thumb away, extend your arm to full length. Take two more of these, slowly, mindfully. When we train our eyes, it's like we're training any other muscle in the body. Sometimes we don't think of training our eyes. These practices can be very effective, and you can spend a minute, 2 minutes in the morning to just kind of get your eyes exercised and set up for the day. You might notice a real difference in your eyes. Good, let that hand drop down. For just another moment or two, close your eyes. Notice what you feel, any sensation in the eyes, maybe soreness, whatever it is. Good. Open your eyes, blink them rapidly as many times as you can. Once again, inviting heat to leave, excess heat, and inviting some moisture into the eyes. Good. Keep the eyes open. Been sitting for quite a while. Nice work. So go ahead, extend your legs, just maybe bounce and shake. Find some tapping in a circuit or some rubbing. Always getting into the lymphatic system, telling the lymph nodes, do your job. Get these toxins out of our bodies. Get this excess heat out. Do the same with your arms. Tapping or rubbing in a circle. In a circuit. 3 times is all you need. Both arms. Take a little squeezing underneath the armpits, getting into those lymph nodes. And the other side, again, something you can do every morning, 1 minute of your day. Inviting your lymph nodes, inviting your body to continue to detox and get rid of what's not needed. Tapping on the breastbone, right over the thymus gland. Good. All right. From here, we're going to get set up for our first restorative pose. It's going to be a shoulder restorative pose. It's one of my absolute favorites. We're going to get set up, but not get into it yet. So here's what we need. Get your bolster or whatever you chose that resembles a bolster. And that's going to go horizontally in your space. If you have blocks, your blocks are going to go the long way coming out from your bolster. If you don't have blocks, maybe a blanket works or whatever you chose for your blocks. The setup that you want is whatever it is on the back side. You can see, well, hopefully you can see it's about 4 inches higher than the blocks. And that's the important piece. Then your bath towel comes in handy here as it gets folded up and gets set right on top of your bolster. If you have an extra blanket, you can take that and just make a little roll out of it. That will be an extra support under your knees or under your ankles if you decide you need it. I'm going to show you where we're going in the pose, but like I said, we're not going to go there yet. So what we're looking for here is to rest the shoulder blades right on these blocks or whatever you're using for blocks. The curve of your cervical spine, your neck, is going to come over here and be lifted and resting on your towel and on your bolster. So we want to encourage that natural curve of the neck. And then the shoulders can rest, the arms will be by the side, and I put the blanket under my knees. You might want it under your ankles. So this is where we're going to be in a few minutes. Okay? So your setup is there. Come back to a seat. We're going to do a little more breath work and a moving mudra to really get set up before we come into this pose, inviting in some more coolness, some sort of declouding, taking away some fogginess in the head, and inviting in some calm. So for this, come into prana mudra, peace signs, resting the palms up. Sit nice and tall for this, but let your legs be however you're comfortable. I'm going to be inviting you to turn your head a certain way. We'll turn our head, that will be our inhale. As we come back to center, we're going to chant a short om. We'll be turning our head another direction, chanting a short om, and we'll have 4 directions that we go in. And chant. Even if you're not used to chanting, let that om come out. Part of this whole practice is to move the prana and let those vibrations help move what's needed in the body, that healthy pranic energy, and help to release what's no longer needed. So get comfortable, close down your eyes, relax your jaws. Inhale, turn right, back to center. Om. Inhale, turn left. Exhale to center. Om. Inhale, lift the chin, open the throat. And then to center. Om. Inhale, chin to chest. To center. Om. Inhale, turn right. Om. Inhale, left. Om. Inhale, lift. Om. Inhale, chin to chest. Om. One more round. Inhale, right. Om. Inhale, left. Om. Inhale, lift. Om. Inhale, chin to chest. Om. We'll stay here in the center. Just tune in to what's happening in the state of your mind, the throat center, the heart center. This was a version of Brahma Mudra. When you're ready, blink your eyes open, wiggle your fingers, and now please come into your restorative shoulder pose. Once again, you're letting your shoulder blades rest on the blocks. You're letting the curve of your neck, your cervical spine comes up over the bolster, up resting on the towel. Find out what helps your body most to blanket under the knees or under the ankles. And then open your arms about 45 degrees out from the body, palms up. Settle in. Let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth slowly. Let your body just sink into your props, like you're calmly sinking into a cool, welcoming Mother Earth. Take out any muscle engagement in your body. Relax the jaws, close the eyes. Allow your body to just be soft and heavy. You should be fully supported and feel fully supported here. You're in a little bit of a heart opener. When we present our heart up, it's also a sign of acceptance. We're willing to accept what this practice brings us. We're willing to accept what comes to us. I'm going to invite you to just stay in your restorative pose. You will be enjoying this pose for several minutes. I will be keeping track of the time and calling you out when time is ready. If you need a tool to further relax your mind, maybe just come back to that beautiful universal sound of Om. Or maybe bring in a vision of a place in nature or your home, a place where you feel at peace and comfortable. Just letting go, allow yourself to be and rest. We rest to restore. Plenty of time to be here, so really allow yourself to be here. It's a beautiful Sanskrit word. It comes from Ayurveda, and the word is ojas. And it translates to vital life sap. Vital life sap. When we get stressed, when we're overheated, we can begin to diminish that vital life sap, but we can replenish it. One of the ways we do it is to rest. So rest. Invite your vital life sap, your ojas, to begin to replenish. If your mind has tried to take you away from yourself, away from your rest, away from your practice, call it back. Call it back. Give it a focus. Give it a focus of a vision, of an image. Call it back. Take control. Rest. Restore. And just continue to stay as you are in your restorative shoulder pose. Just bring your awareness back enough that you can hear what I'm saying. And I'm going to invite you into a version of Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breath. That can help to balance the body, the mind, the breath. Nadis, which are considered energy rivers, or rivers of energy moving through the body. It helps us to find more balance. So stay just as you are. We're not going to be using our hands. For those of you who are automatically thinking alternate nostril breath, we'll use our hands. Instead, relax your jaws and just doing the best that you can do, begin to inhale only through your right nostril. Imagine that breath going right up to the space between the third eye, that chakra of wisdom, discernment, intuition. And when you're ready to exhale, let the breath come down from that space out through the left nostril. Breathe out completely. Now begin, as best you can, breathing in only through the left nostril. Pull that life force up all the way to the space between the eyebrows, the third eye chakra. When you're ready, exhale through the right nostril, fully and completely. Continue this at your own pace, but keep it on a slower level. We're not forcing breath in, we're just breathing in, guiding it through one nostril, up to the third eye chakra, and then guiding what's no longer needed down and out through the other nostril. Slowly, mindfully, continue this process. Many versions of Nadi Shodhana, actually 40, and this is one of them, more of a mental practice. And now I'm going to invite you, if you choose, when you breathe in, when you inhale, and you're sending that life force up to the third eye chakra, to hold it. Hold that breath in, maybe for 1 count, or 2, or 3, or longer if it feels comfortable for you, but don't force anything. And then let it out the opposite nostril, slow and steady, just like you have been. And take a few more rounds like this, experimenting, seeing what it feels like to hold or kubak this breath in. Often when we hold, it's so that it gives time for prana to move more in that space, to kind of nourish ourselves a little deeper with this pranic energy. Take a few more rounds of this, pausing as long as it's delightful, letting it go as you choose. We're going to be finishing this practice with an exhale out the left nostril. So just begin, just so you know that, and maybe the next time you get to that exhale, if you feel complete with the practice, then you can let it go. But take your time in getting there. If you need to take another round, please take it. Once you've ended that exhale out the left nostril, then just breathe through both nostrils. Let the practice go. Breathe with just a tiny bit of control. Noticing what you feel, that sensation of the breath coming in through both nostrils, the sensation of what's not needed leaving both nostrils. And just notice how it feels. Do you feel more clarity, more balance, maybe more grounded throughout your body, or maybe in a certain place in your body? Notice the state of your mind. Tuning into our practice, that's yoga. Being mindful, paying attention to effects of the practice. Good, and now we're going to just let the body breathe as it chooses. We're going to come out of this restorative shoulder pose. So remember, your shoulders are in blocks or some other support. Invite your feet, the soles of your feet, to come up now so your knees are bent. And then just mindfully roll off to your right side, coming all the way off from your props. Just finding that fetal position for just a breath or so. And take the palm of your left hand, press it on the floor near your chest as you inhale and lift yourself all the way back up to a seat. And come into you could be in a supported seat, something not real high underneath you, but just maybe enough to help tilt the pelvic bowl forward and lift the hips a little. So if, as we age, we have these vertebrae in our neck, and sometimes we begin to lose that natural curve of the neck. And if that's begun to happen to you, this practice might feel like it's strained the neck a little bit, but it's stretching and it's helping to sort of recoup that feeling of having that compression of opening it up. So just know that you might feel great, but you might feel a little uncomfortableness, and that's okay. So coming to a mindful seat, be grounded in both sit bones. One of the ways that yoga tells us that we get rid of excess heat in the body is to stretch the side body. So we're going to find some of that now. Be grounded nice and deep in your seat. Let your left hand just come out to rest right outside the hip. Maybe it's resting on the floor or even on a block or elevated. And then inhale your right arm up to the ceiling. Press deep into your right sit bone so you're grounded and bow your body to the right. And it's really important to be grounded in that sit bone because that's how we create the resistance. And think of opening up this whole side body, inviting excess heat to release. We're stretching those little muscles, those intercostal muscles between the ribs. If you want a little bit more for your neck and it feels okay, you might look up and under that arched arm. Keep the jaws relaxed. Keep pressing into both sit bones, but especially the right. You bring your head back to center and then see what it feels like to just bend that arm down. There'll be a little bit deeper stretch. Continue to arch, bow the body over, and maybe the other arm comes up right above the elbow joint. We never want to pull on the joints. And notice that that deepens your stretch. If it feels like too much, then re-extend your arm. Just take a few breaths here. Good, let's release and come all the way back up. And we'll do the same practice on the other side. It might feel different. So ground your right hand, inhale, lift your left arm as you really press deeply into your left sit bone. Bow the body to the left. Think of lifting up and out and really opening. You might feel opening in the intercostal muscles. Invite excess heat to leave. Excess heat in the body that's no longer serving you. We hold things like excess heat, grief, depression. We hold things in our tissues. It's so important to invite them to leave through physical practice, through breath, through intentions. And then see what it feels like to bend this elbow. And maybe you even reach just beyond the elbow joint, never on the joint. Little bit deeper stretch. Go back if this feels like too much in your body. Keep the jaws released. And let's come back up to center and let the hands come back down. I wish we had like another hour, but I will share a few more things with you before our time is up. So we're going to come into another breath practice. This is what I would call the ultimate, the greatest, or the Sanskrit word is maha, the biggest sort of relaxing breath practice that I'm aware of. It's called Brahmari or bee breath. So Brahmari or bee breath invites us to kind of shut down our senses and then we buzz like a bee. And again, that buzzing out loud is important because it's moving prana, it's stimulating energy. And when we close down our eyes and our ears, which I'm going to show you how to do and invite you to do, that buzzing comes inside of us. And for everyone that I've ever taught this to, in the last 10 years, they say it's so calming and so relaxing. But I do want you to have your own experience. So before we get into the bee breath, we're going to go right from Brahmari bee breath into a relaxation pose. So if you're near a wall in your home, I'm going to invite you to take legs up the wall. So you might have to move a little bit after this bee breath practice. If you prefer to use your props, and you have props, you can get that set up now. So we'll set up for a nice incline. So if you have blocks, they would be at their highest point, and your bolster or whatever you're using, if it's nice and sturdy for you, would be here at an incline. And then when we're finished with the breath, you'll face that incline and you'll have a nice elevation with your legs.
the towel that you used under your neck, and the last pose will go under your neck here, and your folded blanket can go over your low hips for some added security and comfort. So either using your props, or if you go to a wall, your legs will probably be higher.
A wall or a safe, sturdy piece of furniture, whatever you prefer. So for now, I'd like you to find in your ears, we have these little flaps kind of right at the bottom of the opening part of the ears. If you press in, you notice that shuts off the sound. And that's where we're going to. But don't do it yet because you need to hear me. So what we're going to do is our thumbs will find those little flaps. And then our fingers are going to we're going to take one finger and probably the middle finger and just rest over closed eyes. And the other fingers are just going to rest on the face. So you can come into that now, relaxing the shoulders as best you can. And then I'm going to ask you, you're going to press in to those little flaps of the ears to shut down the hearing. And then we're going to buzz like a bee. And I'm going to keep track of time here. When I feel like you are hopefully adequately buzzed, then I'm going to ask you to stop. And you can go into your legs up the wall pose. So go ahead, get ready, close down your ears, take a deep breath in, and buzz. When your breath runs out, you inhale and you just continue one continuous stream. One goes into the other. Okay, you can stop your buzzing. I hope that you can hear me. If you continue, it'll just bring you some added comfort and clearing. So now, as slowly and mindfully as you can, make your way into legs up the wall or legs up the bolster pose, finding that towel as a cushion underneath your neck, maybe a blanket across the seat of the hips, a place where we might be holding in emotions, the seat of water in the body to invite it to flow. Arms might be by your sides again, just for added comfort. If you feel more comfortable having your arms across your belly or one on your belly and one on your heart, please find that. As you settle in, you might invite another cleansing breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling slowly, mindfully out the mouth. Inviting all the cells of your body to rest, the tissues, the muscles, the bones, all of your physical self to just sink into the earth, to find a few minutes in this practice to rest in an elevation, which in itself invites some calm to the nervous system. Invite yourself in, and as you do, you might recall your intention. I mentioned cucumbers early in the practice. If anyone actually got those, they could be resting over your eyes. They help to relieve heat in the eyes. And that's something you can do when you're just sitting comfortably in your home. Maybe just put some cold slices of cucumbers over the eyes for a minute or 2 minutes. or practicing in the comfort of your home, your own special space, if you need or desire to rest longer, please stay just as you are. I'm going to honor our time commitment together, and if you would like to come out and practice, then you can just listen to my voice and I will begin to call you out. Begin to deepen, lengthen your breath. In your mind's eye, coming back to that thought of your physical presence on your mat. Perhaps seeing your body as you are in this restorative, relaxing shape. And then maybe if you're bringing the knee or your legs off from the wall, off from your bolster, maybe shaking them out a little bit, circling the wrists and the ankles, pointing and flexing, inviting a little more movement and prana to move in the joints. And hugging the knees into the chest. And if you're at the wall real close, you might need to back away a little bit. Hugging the knees in with your whole back body down, getting a nice stretch for the low back. Hugging the knees toward the armpits, nice and deep. And then again, rocking off gently, mindfully onto your right side into fetal position. Pausing here for just a few breaths. Take the palm of your left hand near your chest as you press in. Inhale through your nose. Make your way back up into a seat. Open your hands for your palms to face you. Cross the right hand behind the left with the thumbs crossed. And bring those eagle wings, Garuda Mudra, bringing the eagle wings into your heart center. Close down your eyes for another moment or two. Let your body adjust to this new upright shape. These eagle wings represent strength and courage. There may be days when we don't feel we have enough of that. We do, it's in us. Sometimes we just need to go a little deeper to bring it out. As these eagle wings nourish you, also nourishing the respiratory system, notice if you can feel the warmth, not excess heat, but just the gentle warmth of your hands over your heart center. The energy, maybe hearing or feeling your heart beating beneath your eagle wings. Your strength and courage is there. Your ojas, your vital sap is with you. Just continue to replenish it. Find some coolness as we continue through this Pitta season, the season of fire and water, heat. Let your eagle wings fold into Anjali Mudra prayer pose and lift the sternum, lifting your heart up one more time into your thumbs. Finding a moment of gratitude for yourself for going through this practice. Taking time for yourself. Maybe noticing effects as we've gone through the practice. And take some pauses as you continue through your evening, your day, into the next day. Connect with yourself and just pay attention. That's how we really learn. Gratitude for you, and I am ever so grateful to be here and to guide you through practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay cool, safe, and healthy. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you real soon, either in person at a practice at Perennial or again online.